Hey, welcome back everybody to the second/third day of League Start testing for the Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder. The idea is that I want to focus much more on the process and being able to try to have a really strong and effective and confident League Start much more than the build itself. So I am actually very purposely picking and practicing a build that I think has very close to zero chance of getting nerfed or anything like that. This is not bait. I don't think there is like a 0% chance, like very, very close to zero, that this build will get nerfed or anything. And if there are any changes, I will be updating the PoE and, going with that. And if it gets totally removed, well, we're gonna have a backup. Don't worry. So yeah, I spent the last 2 days really putting my nose to the grindstone here. I got through the campaigns, I got up to yellow maps, and I documented my progress throughout. And I just want to talk about this a little bit, continually share with you guys the updates that I did to the POB and the notes there, and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing moving forward with this build and the process and what I'm going to do for the League Start. So anyway, let's get into it. All right, so here she is, level 79 League Start testing lady. It's a very official and powerful name. Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder. If you've never League Started it or played it at all, it's a very comfortable build. It scales very smoothly to have like a nice springboard to jumping off into your second build or investing more into this build to have get to that real big end game. The past 2 days, I leveled from Act 4. I think that's where I left you guys off. I leveled from Act 4 up until about yellow maps. This is the easiest and fastest leveling I think I've ever experienced. If we go to the POB here, I have a item set here with a drop down of the gear that I had when I hit Act 10 and killed Gitava. As you can see, it is almost nothing. It is like, it is the most bare bones. I still had blue boots on and everything. Super, super bare bones, like absolutely nothing. All you need to do to get your damage up, you want gem levels, and then you want to get your life flask rolled up as big as possible, and you're good to go. Also in the tree, I have drop downs now from level 9 all the way up to level 80. So if you want to follow along what I did. Now, thank you for the comments from everyone on the previous video. I have incorporated some of those adjustments, and I've also done some things myself for some, my own preferences here. The two big changes that I made from earlier on is instead of, I grabbed Grace early, but I didn't really think about it, is use Purity of Elements. As soon as you hit Act 3, grab that Purity of Elements, you become immune to all elemental ailments, and you get a nice boost to your elemental resistances as well. It actually is just gonna be more comfortable than Grace or Determination or anything like that. I really want to hammer home the point that you want to be looking very closely at your chance to poison. So what you can do here is you want to click on your Poisonous Concoction and scroll down and look for the chance to poison modifier. There we go. I have mine at exactly 100%. This may vary, right? Based on the gear that you have and whatever you find, right? So you can actually get like 5% chance to poison on hit as an Eldritch implicit, right? Which could actually let you move some points around on your passive tree. You just want to hit that 100%. So early on, you're going to use Herald of Agony for that big early boost, right? As soon as you get Herald of Agony, get that big early boost on chance to poison. And then as soon as you get the more nodes on the passive tree here, right? We get chance to poison over here, we get chance to poison here, here, and some more up here. And in fact, I used to have this node down here, and I respect and took the damage over time multipliers instead of the chance, because over 10% chance doesn't really do anything, right? So that's like really the most important thing, is you want to monitor that. Like if your damage is feeling a little uncomfortable and you're not really feeling like you're consistent on your damage, always double check your chance to poison. When it comes to Ascendancy order, I went for Nature's Reprisal first. It just gives you a nice more damage multiplier, and the really big thing for us here is the increased area of effect. Much of our damage comes from more AoE, causing Poisonous Concoction to overlap, right? This is the best I could do to try to capture this, but right, we're going to be throwing this many flasks right on the ground, and each one of them is going to have an AoE, right, when they land. Each one of those is going to apply a stack of poison on the monster that's in the middle there. So increased AoE, like ideally, right, the one all the way on the left and the one all the way on the right will have big enough AoE. This is not a lewd image, I promise. You want to have big enough AoE so you have overlap right there, right? And so then you can have all of your flasks hit and get stacks of poison. That's the easiest early way that we can scale damage on this character. Now, if you want to go a little bit faster, you could take Nature's Adrenaline. And as always, I advocate Pick the thing that's more comfortable for you. So I took Nature's Reprisal. I just wanted a little bit smoother clear, and I was okay with the speed that I was going. If you prefer, and you want to go full YOLO zoom, this is actually a really good way, because these actually almost stack with each other in terms of our mobility, because we're little shield chargers, right? And since we shield charge, both attack and movement speed will help you get around the map a little bit faster. And even just like this is how fast this build is once you get to about level 50. Pretty awesome having a build that's this fast, being able to get around the map. It has like end game speed as you're going through the campaign on solo self-found. It just works. It's just incredible. Definitely, please try this out. That's like the two big things that you'll want to, pay attention to is, pick what you want to do here, check your poisonous chance. And the big thing that I will always advocate is you get free passive respec points, right? You can always get a ton of regret orbs. You can buy scours and regrets for chance orbs. And you can always move your points around, right? If you look at my level 74 tree, right, you see that I went to Trickery here and Fangs of the Viper, and I think I still have Fangs of the Viper, but I do want to unspec that, right? So these are, as I am trying to level as quickly as possible. I even took all of the nodes in both of these wheels just because I didn't want to go for travel points, right? I wanted to be as efficient as possible as I got through the campaign. And then as I wanted to move for more of my end game points, right, this is my level 80, is I actually unspec'd, I unspec'd some of the chance to poison that I didn't need. And while these do give me some damage, they weren't super necessary, right? I found other higher value nodes, but there are some nodes, right, that require some travel time, or maybe there's some nodes where like investing in a spell suppression through the campaign isn't as important, right? That's really what it's been. I went up to level 80. I did all 4 of my labs, and the order that I went, as I said, Nature's Reprisal, and then I took Nature's Adrenaline just to go faster. Attack speed is more damage, more poison stacks is more damage for us. Then I went to Master Toxicist for better clear and more damage, and then I took Nature's Boon last. So yeah, the notes, I haven't really updated them too much. The really big key about this build is after Act 6, nothing changes. Like I didn't change a single gem. Greater Volley, Poisonous Concoction, GMP, and then whatever the 4th color is, you can use Life Tap, Unbound Ailments, or Void Manipulation. And then if you get a 5 link, you can put in whatever you want comfortably there. So yeah, let's do a quick little tier 7 map here and just show you what I got. The key with this build is we're going to go in here, we're going to pop our Blood Rage, we're going to turn on our Plague Bear, get to some packs of monsters. You're going to be paying attention to this Plague Bear number up here. You want to find out what the max amount is. Looks like it's 761k. Then you hit your Plague Bear button. You'll see you have a green circle around your character, and you kind of just shield charge around. And I throw a couple Poisonous Concoctions here or there, but then when it runs out, then you press it again, and you keep going. On the rares and blue packs, you might want to throw a couple additional damage Poisonous Concoctions there. But that's about it. Very smooth, easy play style. As I said, I'm on basically full SSF gear. I used a couple essences that I had just to upgrade my gear, but yeah, and the single target's not like insane right now because I haven't invested into any more damage than I had to, but it is a very comfortably tanky build as well. The key for that is we're using a shield. We have max, I think at this point I have max spell suppression. We have block, we have capped res, we have decent chaos res, and we can spam our life flask as well if we really need to. So very, very comfortable, fast, smooth, tanky build with just random whatever gear, right? Oh, there we go. We even just tanked a Volatile Dead because I wasn't paying attention. And you can just, pop your Plague Bear and start shield charging around. Everything just kind of dies. And then as you level it up, your Plague Bear will kill things even faster. You'll charge it even faster. And it's just this real nice cycle of feeding into itself. I don't know. There's not much more to say, right? It's a very comfortable, fast, easy league starter that I'm very confident. I'm very confident in going into the league starting this and getting ready for the next stage, which is preparing for the second build. So I am looking at this Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder. For me, this is my plan. And I think this is going to be a fork of a decision here. If you want to, and and also this may change. I may love this build so much and I might be so excited to scale it that I will just stick with it for quite a while and really push it to the end game. But my plan is to just, because this build requires 0 gear, it scales on your life flask, then you want to go for gem levels, get like a cluster jewel and stuff like that, to push it a little bit further. But the key here and why it's such a good league starter is we don't need anything. Go to a 5 link and then a 6 link, and then you're chilling, right? You're just being chilling. I want to scale into like the big boy stuff, right? And if I'm going to do that, this is not a build that is at least going to do that in a way that I like. You can scale Poisonous Concoction into moderately big boy gear, and you could put on a Headhunter or something, right? And kind of maybe do some like baby Delirious maps, but it's never going to feel incredible for that. It just isn't. And so my plan is to have a strategy for farming up 5 to 10 exalts, farm up the core of the gear that I want to switch into, set up early trade searches, and that's why this is what's on the screen right now. Set up early trade searches, plan ahead, and think about that. So what I'm going to be talking about in the next video is the way that I'm going to be thinking about the mutability of the economy. And I touched on that in the first video. We really need to understand the ebb and flow and the demand and how chaotic the early league economy is. Just by getting our hands dirty in there and being willing to trade a little bit aggressively, then from there, I'm going to be able to do bigger boy Delirious maps and really get ahead in the economy, set up my strategy, and be chilling there. But yeah, this build could not have been easier to level. What I'm going to be doing is cleaning up these notes, and I'm also going to make an image cheat sheet that you can just keep up on your phone or on your other monitor or something. That's a little bit easier than the text. So the plan is, read through the text, kind of ingest it, but then just use the cheat sheet to go off of for leveling there. If you're not going to do Poisonous Concoction or you want to make some changes, it's just like an NFT. You can right-click, save it to your desktop, and edit yourself in MS Paint or whatever, and you can make your own version. So yeah, I am super excited to league start this build. I have never gone through the axe this quickly on full SSF gear. I really haven't. When we get the patch notes, everything could change, could get thrown in the dumpster. Always good to have a backup plan. I prefer to be optimistic, and if you ask me to hard predict what's going to get nerfed and what's going to get buffed, I just think there's such a small chance that this is going to get touched that I would rather put in some time to prepare at the very least, right? Just some practice will make me a better player, a better understanding of things, and it's not wasted time, right? I prefer to, no matter what, I'm upgrading myself and look back at it as a learning process. And, it makes me more adaptable and better at improving in the future, right? So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. It's an absolute blast with you all following along and excited about this. Especially double check the POB, double check those notes, give me more feedback if there's anything that seems totally off, but I feel very confident. I got all the way to yellow maps here and it feels awesome. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Goodbye.